Hey guys, 22 Plinkster here. I've got something that a lot of you probably care a lot about if you've clicked on this video. You're probably in the market for some kind of day-night scope. Now, there are a lot of options out there, and you know, recently, I guess probably about 5 or 6 months ago, I did a video on the day-night thermal DNT optic. And I used that optic for quite a while, and I really like that optic and the features. However, that's out of a lot of people's price range. This particular Zulu 4K is in a lot of people's price range. Now, you don't get the thermal options, but you do get a 4K day nighttime scope. Let me go over some of the features on the Zulu 4K. First and foremost, it does exactly what the name says. It films in 4K. Now, I want to be doing some shooting here in just a moment downrange, but I am not the kind of guy who just gets a product or a firearm or ammunition and just goes out the next day after opening out of the box and does a review. I like to spend a lot of time with, whether it be the optic, the firearm, the ammunition, whatever. I want to spend a lot of time where I can give you guys my honest opinion. And I've had this optic ever since it came out. That was probably about 6 months ago. And I've been using it for 6 months. I've taken it on coyote hunts and prairie dogs. I've taken it on, oh my goodness, squirrels and raccoons and possums and armadillos. I have tested this thing in real world scenario, and it has passed with flying colors. Now, what you get here, you can film in 4K. You can also film in 1080. The 4K setting films in 30 frames per second, and the 1080 films in 60 frames per second. It also does have a rangefinder. The rangefinder is good between 5 yards and 1,300 yards with a built-in ballistic calculator. So if you're shooting a 223 or a 22-250, you can set all this up in their DNT app, and you click on it. Once you range it, it will tell you exactly your holdover. And it does film, like I mentioned, again in 4K and 1080, but it also has 24 power digital zoom. From 3 to 24, it does pretty good. And I'm about to show you here, guys, in just a minute, but you can go all the way to 6 power and it doesn't pixelate the screen whatsoever. Anything from 6 to 24 or 23 power, whatever it is, it does pixelate it a little bit, but it is still very clear. And it's shockproof, it is rugged, and a lot of people thinking, you know, I don't want to put this on my deer rifle because I've had a bad run-in with digital scopes in the past. Yes, I agree with you. I've tried some of those stuff for years. You know, if you'd have told me 5 or 6 years ago that I was going to put a digital scope on a high caliber centerfire rifle, I was like, there's no way. Those things lose zero. They don't hold true. So there's no way that I would ever do that. Now, with the technology that we have, you can do it and do it a whole lot better. All right, I have some targets down range, and I'm going to turn on the recorder here on this scope and show you guys kind of what it looks like. Now, it's late in the evening, but it's not dark. And so this button right here on the right will turn on the camera. So now it is recording in 4K. You do have your focus knob right here, and right here on top of it, that is your rangefinder. And how you adjust for magnification is right here on top of this dial. So right now we're at 4.5, that's 6, 7.5, 9, 10.5, and all the way up to 24 power, which you can tell, but I can hit my digital rangefinder right about now and it will tell me that this silhouette is at 84 yards, okay? So that is pretty neat. Now I'm gonna back off here a little bit. I don't need all that magnification. And you can tell how good the quality is. And let's just shoot some targets. Now, I have this particular setup sighted in dead on at 40 feet. The reason why I have this set on dead on at 40 feet is because a lot of times when I have to shoot critters on my farm, they're usually at 40 feet. So that's why I have it set. So I'm gonna have to aim a little bit high on these targets. So let's see if I can hit the 6-inch plate. All right, that was pretty easy. Let's go here to the 4-inch plate. All right, 4-inch plate at 83 yards, pretty easy. 2-inch plate. Oh, nailed it. Now, you can tell how quiet this is. I'm shooting some CCI Suppressor Max. Well, that cover fell off. Some CCI Suppressor Max. These are 45 grain bullets traveling at 970 feet per second. And it is super, super quiet because I'm actually using my suppressor. I'm using the Plinky suppressor put out by 2A Daddy. So, all right, let's just do some more shooting. Let's go right, let me see here. Let's go right there, go a little high. Boom, you saw my impact. That was at 67 yards. This is at 73 yards. Let's aim for that bolt. I hit that bolt at 73 yards. So, all right, let's go down here. Let me see what else I can find here. Oh, a coyote. Yeah, that coyote's at 65 yards. Let's give it about a half a mil. Boom, donezo. All right. And right here in the front, this is where actually your focus knob is. So I've got a target out there, and you can see that's at 24 power, and it's not a lot of light left out, and we are using the day mode. So there you go. That's how you focus it right there on the front. There you go. So, all right, let me see here. Let me back this down a little bit. And I want to see if I can hit the know your limit target. I haven't even tried this yet. Those are some small targets. All right. Let's put one in it. Let's go 4. There we go. I nicked it. This is not really the best setup for this. Oh, there you go. Looks like 4 is the number. Oh, yeah, spoke too soon. And I am using my Vakortsen Summit right here. And this thing has been a tack driver for me for a long time. Now, I'm not using match ammunition. Match ammunition, I don't hunt with match ammunition, so I'm not using match ammunition. This is the stuff that I actually hunt with out of this particular rifle, whether I'm squirrel hunting, raccoons, possums, armadillos, whatever have you, skunks around the place. This stuff is incredible. So it's a 45 grain bullet segmenting hollow point. So basically all you have to do is make contact with this stuff and it will do its job. Now, I've probably got about an hour and 15 minutes till it is completely dark. And I want to show you guys the nighttime footage that we can shoot out of this setup. And when you're shooting in the night mode, you want to bring it down to the 1080. You don't want to use the 4K. It just makes for a little bit better picture when it is recording. So let me wait about an hour. We're going to do some more shooting. All right, now that the sun is down, this is probably your normal hunting light that you're going to be using this particular optic if you're going to be hunting varmints and such at night. I got to go over a few things. So one, this is based on a 30 mil tube. So 30 mil rings will work with this optic just fine. And the startup time on this is pretty quick for a day-night scope. So I'm going to press it in right here. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 6 seconds. So 6 seconds from the time that you press that button, you are able to shoot. Now, another thing I like about this particular setup is it has a replaceable lithium battery right here. One thing I cannot stand with optics, with digital optics anyways, is once the optic goes dead, you have to take it back in or bring a battery pack charger and plug it up to the side. And you know, if you're hunting for a couple of hours and it goes dead, your hunt's pretty much over. But with this one, it has a replaceable lithium battery. So, but the battery lasts about 6 hours of runtime. So that is really, really good. So, all right, I've got it set on the nighttime mode right now, filming at in 1080p at 60 frames per second. Now, it's not pitch black, but one good thing about the sensor in this optic is it opens up pretty well. So if there's some ambient light outside, it will gather it without using an IR. If you want to use an IR for pitch black situations, I would recommend just get you a cheap little IR flashlight like this. I bought this on Amazon for like 10 bucks. This particular optic is not shipped with an IR, but for like 10, 12 bucks, you can have an IR light. And I've got this little clamp right here that clamps onto the barrel in here, and you're good to go. But I'm not even gonna have to use it because I do have some good ambient light tonight. So let's do some shooting. All right, hit the record button where you guys can see where I'm shooting. Right now it's at 4 power. Let's zoom on in. Okay, as you can tell, that's, you know, this is at 85 yards. Let's pop it. All right, whoops. All right, let's go for that 4-inch plate. Got it. So if that was a raccoon or whatever have you, a squirrel, and, you know, 80 yards, that's pretty good. 2-inch plate at 85 yards. Hit it again. There you go, pretty easy. Well, see, there's a groundhog right there. Let's go for the head. Boom. You see right there where I shot it. So with this ammunition suppressor and this optic, this is like perfect for 100 yards and in on any kind of small game hunting that you're going to be using. All right, where else? Let's go right here. Yep, that light lit up, kind of blinding. Let's go for the crow right there. Got him. Let's go headshot on the crow. Boom, right there. This is a pretty amazing optic. And honestly, for the price point that you can get this guy for, if you want to get into any kind of varmint control, because honestly, raccoons, possums, skunks, they mostly come, and armadillos, they usually come out at night. You know, if you want to protect what is yours, your chicken, your livestock, things such as that, you can't really go wrong with the price for this optic. I think I've said everything I need to say. If you have any questions about it whatsoever, ask them in the comments below. I will try my best to answer them. But until next time, y'all be safe and keep blinking.